But I will slip up here.
That one.
But so you guys, first of all, how long have you been in the business?
It's gonna be like, yeah, about 2 years.
2 years?
Okay.
Okay.
Short,
This
2 years.
summer.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I wanted to get across is I don't ever want these topics or these trainings to be about, if you do this, it's so easy, right? A lot of people get into insurance because they think it's a get rich quick scheme, and it's not, right? You guys are working hard. That being said, how many apps are you guys writing average on a month?
Well, that's the average monthly is around 20-25.
2025. Okay.
Yeah, I think we averaged about that last year.
Okay.
I'm talking outside of AEP.
So outside AEP. Yeah. And you guys in the past, and you're kind of branching out now, but in the past have used mostly direct mail. Is that right?
Yeah.
So now again, I want to make sure everybody understands this is not easy. You're putting funds in, you're working the leads, you're having to make sure you're tracking them, all that stuff. So this is not something that tomorrow you're going to buy 5 direct mail leads and make $100,000 this month, right? It's
Right.
right.
That's not how that works. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this. The first thing is, how do you determine what leads you're going to work? Are you guys both working the same? Because there's T65, there's low income, there's final expense. What are you guys working? What have you found to work best? And are they both the same?
So starting out, our goal was, or my goal personally was to start with LIS, because you're gonna get a quantity of leads and that's gonna be quantity of people. And that way you're building yourself an income off the start. So you're gonna have more commissions to go through instead of doing, and then filtering in some T65s for a little bit of extra, but you're not going to get the quantity of like 20-30 clients a month on just T65. That's going to be pretty hard to write that many T65s in a month on direct mail.
So low LIS, low income subsidy,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Are you doing the same thing or?
Pretty much. Last year, since it was our first full year, we started with only LIS. This year, we're kind of getting more into the T65 market, but I think we saved direct mail for LIS because of the return rate, and that it's just easier to get in front of them. You can just go and knock on their door and they're pretty much always home.
Okay.
And so we saved like seminars and Facebook leads and stuff like that. We saved that for the T65 market.
Okay. Well, let me throw the objection at you, because the one I hear all the time is LIS, that's more work. Because they're going to be the ones that call you more. They're going to be the ones. How do you handle that? How do you make sure you're taking?
Right.
And they can switch 4 times a year.
Right.
So how are you keeping them on the books?
You as an agent, I mean, to be honest, like you got to take the time. You do have to work harder at it. But if you want the money and you want the income and you don't have it, then you're going to work for it. Most of my customer service calls are going to be more like dual SNPs, so Medicare and Medicaid, and that's a totally lower LIS lead. Some of your LIS leads don't qualify for Medicaid all the time. So even though they're going to be in that price range of income, you're going to be doing just a regular Medicare Advantage plan. So, but that's what I would probably say is they're a little bit more work, but not horrible, in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a huge difference, honestly, between calling in, and I've seen a lot with LIS. Normally when they call in, it's a quick 5-minute fix and then they're kind of done. But also I think it comes back to educating them in the appointment so that you kind of ahead of time, and then you're just reminding them once they call. But a way that I know we both do this, we send out monthly newsletters so that, because like you said, they can switch 4 times a year. We don't want to, work so hard to get them and order all these mailings and get them on the front end and then lose them in a couple months. So we send out newsletters every month.
Every month.
I'm sending mine out about every quarter now, just to cut down a little bit on that. But yeah, just a quarterly newsletter, tell them what's going on, what maybe changed in our life or what's going on with the company, and put in a fun fact about some Medicare plans or something in the future,
Okay.
But
Staying top of mind.
yeah, staying top of mind, present, you know, and if they ever need, and that's going to also cause them, if they're having a problem right now, instead of calling the next ad they see on TV, which is top of mind, that they'll look at your mailer and call you instead, and that way you're able to answer that question. You're still the guy that answers all the questions whenever you call. I would also say answering the phone as fast as you can.
You gotta answer the phone.
Answering your voicemails as fast as you can, because everybody else told them before was one and done, and they never saw or heard from them again, and they never answered the voicemails. So answering your phone, answering your voicemails, and answering their questions as fast as possible is something they're not used to. So that's another thing in that market.
Okay. So has that led to any referrals? Are they good referral givers? Are they not? How many referrals are you guys averaging, let's say, in a month?
Shoot, I should track those better. I know last year we had, I think there was a 1 difference between our referrals last year.
Yeah.
Between both of us. Do you remember the number?
I think we were both in the 50s, 60s. So we had a little deal last year where the person who had the most referrals got a couple rewards, and Tim beat me by 1, but that's okay. We'll take the referrals at the end of the day over everything.
It's not okay, honestly.
That's still digging at me to this day. No, it's all right. But now they are. So we both did LIS last year for a focus, and we both, as far as all the LOA agents that are here in the office, we both had the most referrals. So that might answer that question in and of itself. And I think it dates back to what he said is you just doing a good job in front end. I mean, checking all the prescriptions, doing everything you need to do. Will cause the referrals to come. Answering your cell phone. This guy, hey, he picks up. This guy, he checked my drugs and I saved $100 a month type thing. So
Okay, let's get back to the nuts and bolts of it, right? So how much do you guys spend on a monthly basis on direct mail?
I would say probably 2,000 to 3,000.
Okay,
Pretty normal, pretty average month. Sometimes it's, if we're gearing up for AEP, maybe it's 4 or 5, 6,000.
yeah.
And then some months throughout the year we have where we spend 4 or 5,000. So
okay. But on an average, you know that whatever you make, you're going to take 2-3 grand of that money
yeah.
and dump it back into direct mail.
Yeah, that's going to be the average for me as well. It's going to be it's about $2,500 to $3,000 on an average.
Okay, and that's going to get you so with direct mail, it's paid. You're not really buying per lead. I know it works out per lead, but you're basically purchasing a bulk mail, right? So per 1,000, about how much is that costing you? They're right at 500 to 600, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think per 1,000's around 600 now. And so we're trying to send out, at least 3,000, 3,500 or 4,000 pieces of mail a month. So,
and what is a realistic return on that?
We were just talking about this before you came in. It's kind of different for each state, but here in Missouri, we hope to get 1%. Sometimes if we go and have a good mail drop, we'll get up to 2%.
Okay.
I think the highest me and Zev have gotten is like 2.3 or something like that. So
we both had a month last year, different month, but we both had a return of he had a 2.8 and I had like a 2.7. And that's probably the best one so far we've seen, but on average, you want to get your 1% back. So per 1,000 leads, you want to get at least 10 of them back.
So yeah, that's what I was saying. You're 1,000 leads. So basically you're looking at it like this, $600 for 10 leads. So you're spending $60 a piece. When you look at it like that, and you may not have thought, you may not, do you think that's worth it? Would you pay $60 for the 10 leads that you're getting? I guess is my question.
Yeah. Well, it depends. You gotta know what your math is and what you're doing. Now for me, it'd be worth it. It's worth it every time I sell at least 5 to 6 apps off that, let's say 1,000 leads. I gotta write 5 to 6. So goes down to how hard are you going to work it. There might not be home one day. Are you going to just leave a note at the door and not call them back or never go back out to the door again? So for me, I'm always like, I went to the door 4 times last year. I went to the door 4 times for one house till I was able to get a hold of that person, and it ended up being a whole house. I sold the daughter health insurance, the wife health insurance, and the husband's Medicare, and I just wrote his life case literally last month. So that's one of my probably better stories, but that gives you an example of, you just got to keep going to the door and not just dropping and not giving up. So,
okay. So on average, how many times would you say you touch a person either before you write them and you understand what I'm saying by touch, a phone call, a direct, sounds like you guys door knock everything you get. Most.
He'd be the one to talk to about it doing a little bit differently.
I still do sometimes, and I think I kind of want to get back to it. But last year before AP, I started calling all of them because we used to just, I mean, we wouldn't even call them. We'd get them back the same day. We'd go out and door knock them. So we'd be driving like crazy, and I didn't get tired of it, but I wanted to find a way that was more effective. So if they're not at home, I mean, it's frustrating when you drive 3 hours away and nobody's home. So what I started doing was, as soon as they came in, I'd put all of them from the lead resource on the website. I would put them on a Google Doc. And then that way I can call through all of them. I'd have their name, address, phone number. And then if they're not interested, red them out. If they're no answer, yellow, and then green for appointment. And I found that to be kind of a little bit more efficient. So I'm not wasting, a whole day driving if someone's not going to be home.
Mhm. So on an average, how many times are you reaching out and touching them before that turns red, or door knocking them or whatever?
I'd say 3 to 4 on average.
Okay.
Some people pick up on the first time and some people never pick up, and I have to go door knock them. So,
Right.
Right. My whole thing is I don't really have an average for that. I'm just either, like he was saying, I'm either going to make the deal green or red. So they're either going to have to say no to me or they're going to have to say yes. So however many times it takes for that lead to go either red or green, as far as successful or non-successful, that's how many times it takes, just to close the lead out. And so that when you get a new month rolling in and you purchase a new drop, that all those leads are fresh, and all the ones in the past are, you did everything you could do to close that lead out. So,
Are you ever going back to some, like,
about to say
2 or 3 months later?
AEP.
yeah,
you're
we
going
did.
back, yeah.
I think we both did that in AEP.
I think our first AEP last year, we barely had any other leads. We just ran old leads.
Yeah.
We both he wrote about 90 P just off old leads. So
Nice. Okay, so if someone was wanting to get into it, they're building a budget, they're building a system. You guys said 2,000 to 3,000 minimum to get going, right?
Yeah.
And then dumping 2,000 to 3,000 back in. I know you're using a Google Sheet. Is that what you're doing too? Is it some kind of Google Sheet or something just to track?
Yeah, on tracking. Yeah, you can do whatever. You can do an Excel spreadsheet, a Google Sheet, however you want to design it. But yeah, a tracking system is definitely key. You need one of those as well.
And that's, I think that's key. I've seen a lot of agents come and go. And a lot of the agents that go are the ones that, like you said, to get a lead one time, once, door knock it once or whatever, and it's just too far away or whatever.
Mhm.
What's the farthest you guys have ever driven for a door knock or appointment?
Jeez.
I think when we first started, there was another guy in the office that was with us. He's not here now, but I remember us driving like 3 or 4 hours one way. And I really remember one time we drove about 4 hours away and nobody was there. Like we all went together, all door knocked them, and we had to drive back. So it was a long drive back.
Yeah, that
That's
was when we.
so-
Yeah,
It was back then.
It was back then.
Yeah.
That was when we were first starting out. I don't
Yeah.
know. I've been to Poplar Bluff, which is, I think, at least 4 hours. I've been to the border of Arkansas, and we're in Midwest Missouri, and I've been all the way up to right outside of Kansas City. So I couldn't.
Corners of the state.
I couldn't really tell you. I haven't really gone up to the St. Louis area, but that'd be pretty stinking far. But I've been about everywhere else, I guess. So
So change direction a little bit, little off track. What is the craziest thing that's ever happened? Because I've docked for final expense and I'm knocking
Yeah.
low income. You're gonna get some times where you're gonna get into some rough situations.
Yeah, there's been a couple. Well, there's been more than a couple, but there's only probably a couple that I can actually share. But I door knocked one, and this is kind of what you get when you door knock without them knowing you're coming. This lady answered, she didn't have any pants on, and so
That's what he can share.
she didn't put any on, and I ran the appointment. It was kind of weird, but made the sale and left out. She left happy. I left happy. But
I said, okay.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to top. No, there's some that I can't really speak about that would probably top that, but you don't want to talk about it ever again. But no, one time I showed up, I was down really deep in the right by Arkansas, and I showed up, the address, I couldn't find the address. There's no mailbox, but there was a little road where the dot, where you're on your phone where the marker is, and there's just a little trail and it goes back into the woods. I'm like, Well, this might be where it's at. So anyways, I drive back up in there and it's like all wooded the whole way through. I get up in there and it was a shack, one of those shacks that you buy at like a Lowe's or a Walmart and sitting outside. Well, this guy, no vehicles anywhere to be seen. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I knock on the door and I hear him like right above me. So there's a little porch. So I'm guessing, but when I got in the little shack, his bed was above the porch, which is like a loft. And then down below he lived out of a little shack, but in the woods. Anyways, yeah, ended up writing him a Anthem dual snip out of the whole deal. So
Nice.
Whatever you gotta do.
whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
He had pants on, but he didn't have a shirt on, and he never put a shirt on the whole time. So
That's nice.
he was out there.
Yeah, I've had guns pulled on me. We've had
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
happen. It's been fun.
That's what happens when you try to take the money from Fox.
Spencer asking for money. You guys are
Risking your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Talk about cross selling. How do you cross sell in it? I know we got to stay compliant, right?
Mhm.
Medicare and all
Yep.
that. But you mentioned you're selling 3 or 4 in a home. How do you do that? What's the best way?
Yeah, and it's just that you got to really fill out your situation as much as you can, especially when you're in an LAS home. But like I said, some of them won't always go on Medicare and Medicaid because they're making a little bit too much money. So you have a little bit of opportunity there. But lots of hospital indemnity plans. So something that if you're writing just a regular Medicare Advantage plan, for like they're only like 18, 20, 24 bucks a month for those seniors, that you can write them a hospital indemnity plan, and show them how it can help them with their copays on the Medicare Advantage plan. So every chance I get, I will bring that up. And sometimes even if I know they don't have enough money, I'll still bring it up to just get a feedback on how that body response is and body language and type of thing like that, whether I go further or not on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
For me, we've got a cross-selling sheet and I've kind of revamped it and put my own stuff on there of what I, focus on. And we have a kind of generic one, but I took some of the stuff off like home and auto and stuff that I don't personalize in. And then I just come in with about 4 or 5 different things and tell them, hey, I can help you and I can add value to all of these. And then I kind of figure out, do we have any life insurance? Do we have any hospital indemnity plans? And stuff like that. So
Nice. Okay. Give me the companies you guys are using, right? That's what people want. What are the companies and you guys use a lot of different companies, right? What companies are
You're
you
talking like
for direct mail? No, for
for
direct mail. Yeah.
direct mail. Gotcha.
They'll promise not to use them in Missouri.
Okay. One of the ones we use a lot of is Lead Concepts. Is going to be one of the ones in Missouri that we use a lot. So
Okay.
and then one that we started using last year that I honestly like a little bit more is Need a Lead.
Okay.
We found that even on the lower response rates, you're still getting about 1%. And then on a good one, that's when we've both gotten pretty high return rates.
Both of our high return rates did come from Needly. So
Okay. Then there's and you mentioned leading responses.
Leader Response is another one.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a-
gonna be like third on that list, but yeah, I use Need a Lead and Lead Concepts pretty religiously. I'll even split the cost sometimes and do both of them at the same time. So
And you guys work with a certain person at each company, right? And you get to know that rep and that
Yeah.
rep can
Yeah.
tell you what's available in every county and all that stuff as
Yeah.
well.
For instance, he sent one out, a couple months ago.
Mhm.
And it didn't get the response that we were expecting. And they kind of know us because we order from them for the past 2 years. She gave them a free mailer because it didn't return what it was supposed to. So it really helps to honestly know somebody, because they will treat you right if you keep coming back to them.
Nice. Okay. Christine, we got any questions on everything? Anybody, any questions for anybody? Put them in the chat box if you have something. If not, let us know. If you guys do have any questions, I'm looking at my computer cameras up there.
Right.
If you guys do have any questions, you can reach out to me, dallas.keithley@secureig.com, and I'll forward it on to these guys. But you guys have killed it in the insurance industry, right? Who took employee of the month or agent of the month last month? You guys have a weird statue you pass around for the winner and all that.
Well, technically,
no, here we go.
they technically did, but he had the most sales by, again, he beat me by 1 sale again, I think.
Yeah.
So
Well, we don't take the trophy unless we get our goals. So
yeah, we have certain goals that we have to hit before anyone's able to get that. So you got a minimum that you got to get.
Wish I'd have known that before I asked you guys to be in this interview.
somebody.
Yeah, we'd have talked to somebody else. Noah did say that you guys can have it in March, but after that, he's taking it for 3 months in a row.
Yeah, he's the new guy.
New guy. Yeah.
We get the new guy starting. He's ready to go. He's ready to go.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you
Guys,
guys.
thanks for
Yeah, I've got a
watching.
quick question.
Oh, we got a question. Okay.
Yeah, can you guys talk about the difference in the sales cycles as far as LIS and T65? And I think that this is why direct mail works so beautifully with LIS
Yeah.
is that sales cycle length. Can you guys kind of talk about that just real quick?
Yeah, definitely. So when you're doing like a T65 event, we're going to mainly focus, and I think that was Hunter, if I'm not wrong, but Hunter and us are going to focus something more like an event, like a seminar, a workshop, something educational, whether you're plating the food down and putting a little seminar up on a deal and going over everything with them, because they're aging into Medicare and they're wanting to see that. And with that, you're going to have different income ranges, because you're going to mail out that you don't care who you mail out on that to get them to come to your seminar. So you're going to have all kinds of different things. So the sales cycle is going to be different. And like we were both saying, with the LIS, your sales cycle is going to be more focused on how you can help them with their Medicare. And if they do have anything extra, you're going to be searching for a final expense plan that you might be able to save them a little bit of extra money on as well. So like Hunter was speaking on, it's all about your market and who you're talking to. I really do feel like that. And I let you hit on like why direct mail is probably the best way to go. You probably can do that.
So just why direct mail is better. I like direct mail because I've said it time and time again. I just think that it's a better way of getting in front of somebody. It's a better way of getting somebody who actually has interest, because they have to go and, obviously send the mail back, wait for the response. They're not just on Facebook, just filling something out.
The objection, if it wasn't me, is harder to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, take me that real quick, and I appreciate the question. Take me real quick. You come to the door, knock on the door, I answer, what's the opening line? How are you getting in the house?
You
Right.
take that one, you're still doing that.
I mean, I'm still to this day doing it. No, if you're opening the door, I'm answering. I'm just saying, hey, Miss Betty, my name is Zeb. And basically what I come out with is I got the mail. I print off the mail card that they sent back. So you just enlarge it and print it out on a full sheet. And you're just going to show up and say, hey, I seen you filled this out. And my name is Zeb. We get these back every month. They send me out here to come out here and see what's going on, to see how I can help you. And I come out and there's different things every single time. So at that point, they're going to be like, come out here to do what? What are you talking about? And then you just look down at the card, let them look at it. And all it sees here is something about some Medicare extra benefits, or seeing if your plan's been updated for 2022, whatever. That depends on what kind of lead card you buy on that. So you're just kind of go through that, and you just walk through that. And at that point, I'm not really saying a lot, and they filled it out for a reason. So at that point, you don't have to say a lot more. First one that talks loses type thing, loses the sale. So you're just going to let them tell you what their problem is. And if you know what's going on, you're going to answer as many of their problems and fix as many of their problems as you can. So
What about on the phone? Let's take up the phone.
and
This
that is where he's going to go into that.
I've got the same sentence that I say every time. So basically, kind of like an opening line, I'll just say, hey, Betty, this is Tim. I got this card. I got your card back in the mail from you that you sent me today. Which I like being kind of vague about it, because then it kind of draws their attention in, and they were like, well, what card is it? Or what card did I send out? So they kind of are seeking, information of, what are you talking about? Who is this guy? What card is being sent from me? So then I transition to, I try to paint a picture of the card in their mind, since I'm not in front of them. So I'll, describe their handwriting, or, what the words are on the paper that I sent out, or stuff like that, so they can remember it. And then I'll just answer any questions that they have. I don't really try and sell them on the spot. I try to set an appointment and then do it.
Okay,
So
very nice.
For lead companies, and how do you find which one is better than the other company? And she said, I think you just answered.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, leading concepts, leading response,
Need-
need a lead.
Yeah, those are going to be the three that we use pretty religiously that give us a pretty decent return. As far as which one's better, I mean, lead concepts could have a 1.5 return, 1%, 1.5% return. And then, like we said, Need a Lead could have a 2%, and then they can literally flip flop and do the exact opposite. So I sent out 2 mailers last month. For example, Need a Lead had a better rate of return than Lead Concepts did. But also I have a good contact at Lead Concepts, a rep who is like Tim was saying earlier, who's going to help me with my next mailer, giving me a certain dollar amount free for my next mailer. So we're going to do a little joint mailer there and boost it this next month. So,
Nice.
but yeah.
And then her second question was, do you at T65 help enroll in Medicare?
Well, yeah, that's just dependent upon the situation. Yeah, you're gonna go over, it's if it's, you're setting an educational bit to set an appointment with the people whenever they're a couple months before their effective date. And then you're just gonna go over both their options, Med Sub, Medicare Advantage, show them all their options. And at that point, you're just letting them make the decision. So,
Yeah.
And yeah, we do enroll people in Medicare all the
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
Usually just go to ssa.gov, create them an account. Once you create an account, then you can walk through. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just enroll them into A and
Takes
B.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it takes it 5 minutes. Is if you can verify who they
Sure.
are. Say
You gotta have
the
a-
verification.
The
part's the worst part.
verification, you gotta have an email and you gotta have a phone number on
Yeah.
hand. So make sure you got that.
So, all right. Any other questions? That's it.
Awesome. Perfect.
Perfect.
Guys, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you
you.